Hey guys, Jonathan was out here for Jam Sports 100 and jamsports.org. How is it going? I'm going to do a little rant, something that I haven't done in a while. This one's going to spark a little bit of controversy probably, but I'm going to do it, and I want to get into rants and stuff a little bit more, so I'm going to do that, and also going to start talking a little bit more football, too, and stuff like that. When you think of sports, obviously, one of the toughest jobs to have in sports is officiating, arguably. No matter what the sport is. And when you think of officials and think of officiating, you think of blunders. You think of screw ups. Not necessarily the good officials. You think of the bad stuff. You think of people like Phil Luckett, Jim Joyce. Blown calls are going to happen in sports, but some of them are just so remarkably bad that you wonder how it happened. It brings me back to and I'm going to be a little bit of a homer here, a Bob Davidson call a couple weeks ago in the Brewers game, saying that Nigel Morgan leaned in to a ball to get hit by a pitch, which wasn't the case. It also brings me back to another Brewers play earlier in the season that happened to Nigel, where he supposedly didn't get hit by a pitch, but somehow he phantomly broke a finger after being hit by that pitch. After not being hit by that pitch, but he broke a finger. Yes, officials are human. Yeah, they're going to make mistakes. But man up to them. If you make a mistake, man up to it. Jim Joyce has probably one of the biggest sports blunders at this point, and that's just because he took a history away from Armando Galarraga in a perfect game. But Jim Joyce manned up to his mistake. Yes, it doesn't fix it. The perfect game does not stand, will not stand. It does say in the record books now as well that Armando Galarraga went 8 1/3 or 8 2/3, whatever it was, of perfect baseball. But man up to it. Officials will never man up to their mistakes. The funny thing is, officials are not made available to the media after the game. Did Nigel Morgan lean into that pitch? No. Ron Renicky was asked about it. Nigel Morgan, I'm sure, was asked about it. Probably even the opposing pitcher that day was asked about it. Did he lean into that pitch? The umpire wasn't. Umpires don't make mistakes. Which I guess in a case like that, that can lead into a whole other topic of should baseball bring in or expand instant replay. Instant replay gets expanded. Armando Galarraga probably gets his perfect game. Nigel Morgan probably gets to take his base in that one game, and that probably changes the outcome of that whole game. Because that kind of took away a big inning for the Brewers. No, I'm not just saying that. No, yeah, I'm making a mistake wearing this hat and defending Nigel Morgan. But I'm not talking as a Brewer fan. Officials are going to make mistakes. Yes, they're human. It's going to happen. But man up to it. Admit that you're wrong. Admit that you screwed up. From what it sounded like, and shake your head yes or no on this, from what it sounded like, the way Brewer analyst Bill Schroeder was talking after Niger was told to come back, Bob Davidson is infamous for missing blatant calls. Here's another thing, too. Okay? The Phil Luckett call. You could debate the Phil Luckett call all day, and for those of you who don't know what the Phil Luckett call is, that took place I believe, when the Pittsburgh Steelers was playing the Detroit Lions. It was an overtime game. And Jerome Bettis, I believe, called tails. And Phil Luckett said heads. The call was tails. Lions got the ball. Steelers ended up losing that game when Detroit marched on the field and scored. Now, you can make different arguments for that one. Well, that's hearing. That's different. Well, then you know what? You need to have other people around. For stuff like that, you need to have other people around. I've got a big problem with people who will not man up to their mistakes. Like I said, Jim Joyce, I pretty much laid off him in this video because he manned up. He said, I screwed up. Bob Davidson, he won't say anything. Umpires think they're always right. That's not the case. Umpires and NFL referees, in my opinion, make the most mistakes in sports. Especially umpires. Yes, it's a fast-paced game. Yeah, you have to have quick eyes. But you know what then? If you don't have quick eyes, if you can't keep up with the play, then get out. Not one of my better rants, but I kind of forgot how to do it. I'll get back into it. I'm not as fired up about this. I probably should have recorded this rant the night that I happened because I was a lot more irritated about it then. This does bring up one more thing that just came to mind. Let's jump to soccer for a second. As you guys know, I don't cover soccer one bit. But it brings me to a soccer play where a player got carded for patting another player on the head. Remember that? I've got a problem with that too. There's nothing wrong with what he did. They were talking. It almost seems to me like officials get too power happy at times. You're never going to take blown calls away from sports. There's always going to be blown calls. But you know what? Try to limit them. Do better. Honestly, and if a call is close, it's not even if a call is close that irritates me. It's when a call is blatantly obvious. Alright? There's a difference with what Niger did if you watch that replay. Okay? Say home plate is going this way. If I lean in like this and get hit, yes, make me come back. That's not what Niger did. Niger went like that. He turned away from it. It's calls like that that are stupid and they shouldn't happen. coming up in a little bit, I've got picks, and I'll start talking football within the next couple days too. I'm out, guys. I'm Jonathan Bozant for JM Sports 100 and JM Sports Dark. See you later.